Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Let's Play Morrowind with Mervis Thyrano. Now, we are back in Balmora, specifically in the Balmora Temple, because I decided to pop in here because, one, it was raining, and two, I wanted to buy some more spells. Because, as it happened, they had a handful I wanted, which I couldn't get anywhere else. So, in addition to the recall spell that I got last time, from the temple here, I have picked up a mark spell and an Almsivi intervention spell. None of these are ones that I have a particularly great chance of casting, but still, it's better than nothing. Because mark and recall, respectively, I have about a 15% chance of casting successfully. And Almsivi intervention, is sitting neatly at 27%. And because I know there are probably some people who don't know what these are, I should probably explain what mark, recall, and Almsivi intervention are. You see, mark and recall, mark is pretty obvious. It lets you mark a spot, and you're doing that for the recall spell, which is essentially a teleportation spell. If you mark somewhere, then you can use the recall spell to teleport back to the spot you previously marked. The catch, and the whole balance thing that keeps this from being too ridiculously overpowered, is the fact that you can only have one spot in the game marked at a time. There are mods that can change that and enable you to have a bunch of different places marked, but I didn't want to install one of those. Much like with the mod that adds in Magicka regeneration, I feel like only being able to mark one place at a time is sort of more in the spirit of Morrowind. Even if, like with my Magicka regen mod, I could find one that was fairly balanced in that the regeneration of Magicka in that mod is based on how much Magicka you are missing. It still feels like it's kind of more in the spirit of Morrowind to stick with the way things are in vanilla in that regard. So those are the mark and recall spells. The Almsivi intervention, because you may have noticed while I was going over my scrolls, we have these two intervention scrolls. One Almsivi intervention and one divine intervention. What these effectively do is teleport you to the nearest temple. Almsivi intervention will teleport us to the nearest temple of the Tribunal, while divine intervention will teleport me to the nearest temple to the Imperial Cult, aka the 9 Divines, as you would know them from Oblivion and such. So, there's sort of a way to get away if you're going to have a really long trek with nothing going on between you and your destination, or you just kind of get in over your head or horribly lost and have no idea where you are. You can just get yourself back to civilization, essentially. So, in addition to picking up those spells, I did something to slightly mitigate the little bit of a cock-up from last time, because if you remember, last time around, we were over in Alderun, and I had kind of a bit of a stealth cock-up, in that I didn't entirely realize that I would be seen if I was invisible when I grabbed that helm, so that resulted in me, for whatever reason, getting a 3,000 gold bounty on my head. Despite the fact I was fairly certain that you would only get like a few hundred for stealing something. Apparently, stealing from nobles, or possibly stealing an item as valuable as that one was, is a bit more extreme than I remembered. In any case, we got a 3,000 gold bounty, so I had to spend 1,500 gold to get it removed by the guys at the Thieves Guild. And that burnt through not only my reward for that Thieves Guild mission, but the money that... but a little bit of my own money as well, beyond just the reward. So, as a result of that, and the fact that the Thieves Guild next wanted me to go and steal a book from that same noble house, Mervis has decided it would be best to lay low and avoid Alderaan for a while. So, we've made our way back to Balmoral. I sold a bunch of the stuff that I'd picked up from some tombs and the like, including those couple of apprentice alchemical, including the couple of apprentice mortar and pestles that I still had on me. And now we have a master set since I yoinked them from the Mages Guild while I was there. And I also sold all my pearls and some really pricey alchemical ingredients as well, which would include actually some fire salts, and it was drog powder or something. I don't really remember what it was called, but yeah, we sold that. Anyways, now I'm here in Balmoral and deliberately avoiding that nonsense from Fire Eye wanting me to choose between my cover as a member of the Fighters Guild and my actual job in the Thieves Guild. So, now that we're here, I feel like it is a good time to do something that Mervis has wanted to for a long time. You see, we actually made note of a guild hall in the city that looked rather interesting. And we wanted to pay that guild hall a visit. I am talking, of course, about the Morak Tong Guild Hall. And it's not really any reason that we want to poke in there, besides the fact that it looks kind of neat, and Caius did mention it when we were gathering all that information from him way back as being essentially government-sanctioned assassins, which is a concept that we can quite get behind. It really is. Now, if I can only remember where it is they make their home. And we've walked right past it. So, we're going to pay a little visit to the Morak Tong Guild Hall, I think. And just maybe have a little talk with their members, and I wouldn't be opposed to joining up if they happen to have any openings. So, let's go and see what they're all about beyond just, we are assassins, but sanctioned to kill, rather than just outlaws and criminals. Hello there, Morak Tong Assassin. You're not feeling very talkative, apparently. Neither are you. Gillian Sedis. Maybe you'll feel more like chatting. So your name is Mervis Thyrano, and you're new here in Balmoral? Well, my name is Gillian Sedis. And I don't mind answering questions. I have nothing else on my mind right now. Okay. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about your guild? Though, from what I've heard, guild isn't exactly the right word, now is it? Organization, or order, would probably be more along the lines, wouldn't it? The Morag Tong is the ancient traditional assassins guild of the Dunmer. We provide 3 varieties of execution: public, private, and house war. We only recruit candidates of proven skill and honor, and only Grandmaster Eno Hlalu in Vivec can authorize new members to join the Morag Tong. And let's just say for a moment I was interested in joining. If you wish to join us, you must seek out Eno Hlalu, the Grandmaster of the Morag Tong in Vivec. And yeah, from what little I know of the Morag Tong, because it is one of the factions in this game that I have never actually succeeded in joining. There's a couple of others that I have, and I'll get back to that book in a second because I know it contains some hints. As I was saying, it's one of the factions I've always wanted to join just because I always thought the Morag Tong were kind of badass, and really wanted to join up just because of how cool I thought they were, if for no other reason than that. But I never actually succeeded. I was never able to find where it is that, Hlalu is located. That's not a clue for you to tell me, by the way. I would like to figure this out on my own. I really, really would. As that's one of my favorite aspects of Morrowind, actually. Even if I do have to break with this from time to time, just because I have too much trouble and am utterly lost. Sometimes I do look things up or Google them or stuff, but in general, I try to figure it out through in-game clues, and I love that aspect of it. It's just great. Anyways, I'm just sort of poking my head around and talking to members of the guild right now. Faction members only, but apparently that dark elf sells spells. If I ever manage to find my way into membership, I'll have to remember her, as there might be some pretty good illusion spells or possibly conjuration we could get there. This guy's not so stingy on that, though. He'll train us. He does sneak and short blade. Hang on a second. What's my sneak skill like right now? Because after that last mission, getting halfway decent at sneaking wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's only 10.
I wonder if she heard me say that.
So maybe I come back to that later.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
I'm a little bit more practiced in sneakaroonie. You two both train in sneak. That's the only thing you do I give a crap about currently. And no, I am not going to try to break into their locked chests or doors in the middle of a building full of professional assassins. That strikes me as faintly suicidal, if I'm being totally honest. It quite does. Now, there's a book over here that I mentioned I thought contained a hint. Because this book right here, from what I've been able to tell, and I could be wrong because it's been a long time since I've tried to find the Morag Tong. Several years, in fact. But I believe this contains the only hints in the game to the location of Eno Hlalu and the Morag Tong HQ. As I said, I could be wrong. Who really knows? A black glove. Swift and agile are the Morag Tong. Silent and unseen they move. Illusions they supply to misdirect their prey. Close and sure they strike with short blade, or distant and secure they strike from afar with accurate missile fire. Light armor protects them from harm, and the acrobatic discipline finds for them the unseen and unlooked for path. Have you these virtues? And perhaps your oath and service may please the Morag Tong. Do you have friends and your finery, but no place to go? Do you laugh and cry, but no longer feel? Do you wear these masks? And perhaps your oath and service may please the Black Glove, the blood of the hunter and the blood of the hunted, the joy of the hidden and the joy of the seeker, the blood of the eye and the blood of the gate, the joy of the living and the joy of the dead. Are you one with these things? Perhaps your oath and service may please Mafala. To make your oath and enter our service, the worthy must seek the Grand Master, who by tradition lives in the unseen and unlooked-for corners of Vivec City, between the blood of battle and the waters of life. Between the blood of battle and the waters of life. And that's the only clue that we are going to be getting to where to find them. And in Vivec City, so at present, my map doesn't actually tell me where Vivec City is located. Although, from an out-of-character perspective, I do know that the next mission Caius is going to be sending us on is actually to go to Vivec City, so we'll be finding out fairly soon. Especially since Mervis has now decided that we will next be heading back to Caius to continue our work with the blades. Because we've been away doing side work, let's just call it, for long enough, and I think we're in a good enough position to continue working with the blades now. Our cover is nice and secure and all. There's no problems there. And yes, there is an out-of-character reason in that I just really want to visit Vivec, because, in my opinion, it's just a really cool city, and I just really like going there, even if it is one of the hardest places to navigate in the entire game without getting lost. At least for me it is. But yeah, that is the other reason. But prepare for us to get lost a lot in Vivec, everyone. Are you here to discuss your orders, or is there something else you want? No, I'm here about the orders. I thought it over, and I want you to interview 3 informants in Vivec City concerning the Nerevarine and the 6th house. First, I want you to speak to Adiranir, a Khajiit Thieves Guild operative. Second, I want you to speak to Hulia, an Argonian in the Morag Tong. Finally, I want you to speak with Meramilo, a temple priestess. Here, I've written the details down so you won't forget. And here are 200 drakes for bribes and other expenses. Well, seeing as I generally don't like to bribe people, those 200 drakes are going straight into my pocket, and if I can find one, they're going to be funding the purchase of a chameleon ring or some such, because I actually did look this up just because I wanted to know why I was able to use my moon shadow to steal that diamond in the alchemist's place, and it didn't work on those nobles in Aldaroon. And apparently it's something to do with how invisibility is disabled when you grab stuff. I don't totally understand, but apparently chameleon is just better for stealing stuff than invisibility is, so we will be going with that. Next, that's my next big purchase on the list, is to buy ourselves a ring or amulet or other magic item that will enable us to get some percentage of chameleon on ourselves for a time. We have a potion that will do 5% chameleon, but as far as I'm concerned, that's not good enough. And until we can get a ring with some decent level of chameleon, I don't think we'll be going back to Alderune. Plus, we kind of want to let the locals cool off after our brazen theft of that helm. But before we go, let's get a little information from Caius on his informants. Adiranir is a Khajiit and a Thieves Guild operative. You'll find her in St. Olm's Canton in Vivec. Be careful what you say and use common sense. People in the cantons are suspicious of Outlanders, so you may have to win or purchase their confidence. Yes, well, given that I'm also a member of the Thieves Guild, I wonder if Adiranir will be more willing to talk on the grounds that we are fellow guildmates, even if I haven't worked alongside her or anything just yet. Let's see, Hulia, you say? Hulia is an Argonian and a Moragtong assassin. You'll find him in Vivec at the Black Shulk Corner Club in the lower wasteworks of the Foreign Quarter. In addition to his other skills, Hulia is also known around Vivec City as a student of history and a lover of books and old things. Okay then. Maramilo, you say? And honestly, I've never been sure if that's supposed to be Maramilo or Maramilo. I prefer saying it as Maramilo. I'm not really sure why, I just do. So that's what I'm going to stick with, I think. Maramilo is a temple priestess who works in the libraries at the Hall of Wisdom and Justice. She's a friend, so be careful and don't get her in trouble. The temple is suspicious of Outlanders and wouldn't be happy to find Mara talking with you about religious matters. She'll be easy to spot. Look for the priestess with the copper hair and copper eyes. Okay then. That should be everything.
If I can be of any assistance, I'll be happy to help.
So now it's off to Vivec.
Now, where did I put that?
Of course. I think I might take one or two of my books along with me, actually. Just so we have a bit of reading material. And I'm going to take and sell Followers of the Guar, because that one is just awful. And the Pilgrim's Path as well. Followers of the Guar and Pilgrim's Path are getting sold, but I think that's everything that we need from Caius right now. So now we have our next destination. Head off to Vivec City and interview some people for Caius. As well as that, Mervis wants to go poke around and see if we can't find the Moragtong's headquarters there. Let's just say that this Assassin's Guild has piqued our interest. And we are very much intrigued at the idea of a legally sanctioned guild of assassins. They're seriously contemplating joining up with them at the moment. So we'll be paying them a visit. And maybe seeing what they have to offer. And oh right, this error. I forgot about this. I still haven't gotten around to fixing that. That's the one error in the game, seemingly, that I've had so far. Note to self, see about fixing that bloody error. It's kind of a pain. Pilgrim's Path and Followers of the Guar. There you go. Up to 15 gold, can we? Oh, she's not having it. How about 12? Okay. Now, what books do I have on me, and do I want to sell any of them? Okay. Short history of Morrowind and on Morrowind. Let's go. I'm going to actually stop at some point and actually do a bit of reading, but that's all the selling I want to do right now. Now, before I head out, where actually is Vivec? That's what I would like to know. That's mildly irritating. Apparently, Caius did not feel the need to add Vivec to my map. I'm slightly miffed by that. However, if I remember rightly, it's somewhere in that general area. So I could just head over there and start looking for it, but considering we heading to what's basically one of the most important cities in all of Vardenfell, if not the most important, well, Mervis's thinking is that perhaps we should just go by Silkstrider this one time. We'll make the trek from Vivec back to Balmora on foot once we know where it is.
When you can run.
Seems more sensible than trying to travel to somewhere that we only vaguely know where it is. Here, have your 20 gold, get me to Vivec.
Where would you like to go?
Okay. And I was pretty correct. So, we've arrived at Vivec, but it's in the late evening. Now. So, I think we'll be heading in Vivec Foreign Quarter, because that's one of the reasons that Vivec is so damn hard to navigate for me, just because it is so fucking gigantic. I don't know that it's on the scale of the Imperial City, but I would say likely pretty damned close. Now, what I need to do is just find myself an inn and rest up for the evening. Lower Wasteworks. We're going to be navigating our way around Vivec for quite a while. Not much I can tell you for sure. Just keep that in mind if you happen to be watching these episodes as they go up, because, well, how to put this? We are likely to be in Vivec City for a very, very long time, just based on how bloody huge it is. So, you should expect multiple episodes of me in Vivec, trying to learn where everything is and the like. I'm just exploring everything in general because I like to explore stuff. Fortunately, we're in a city, so there should hopefully be less chance of us getting attacked by crazy people who want to carve my skull in and take my stuff. Which is something, I suppose, but even that is a bit sketchy, admittedly. Even that is a bit on the sketchy side. I'll probably still encounter some of those type of folks. To the lower westworks. And let me see. And everybody meet the Ordinators. These guys, well, if you thought the regular guards in Morrowind were basically unstoppable badasses, these guys are no joke. I believe they're armed with ebony maces, and for most of your time in the game, they will be able to straight up kill you if you start anything, so let's not. Not start anything would be my suggestion, because I would rather not die to an Ordinator. For one thing, because I would rather not die. For another, because to Mervis's way of seeing things, getting killed by a guard would just be too humiliating to bear.
What do you want?
Up the waste works. Come on. Is there an inn around here somewhere? That's what I'm looking for. Just somewhere to stay the night. Jabashah's rare books. Well, it's a nice enough looking place, I suppose, but not exactly what I'm after. I'll just continue poking around, I guess. Canal works. Fletcher, that's for arrows, so with no use to me. Quarter canal works. And yes, I am just using this as an excuse to get the lay of the land. More or less.
What's this about?
I don't know who you are, but I saw something about a corner club on there. And corner clubs are the Morrowind version of inns. That should be what I want. Enchanter. Well, they have an enchanter here? Interesting. I'll have to pay them a visit at some point and see if they have a ring or amulet of either chameleon or levitation, because both of those would be very handy to me, honestly. For obvious reasons. Black Shulk Corner Club. Okay. And I think I've got my view distance down too low. I can afford to have it a touch higher. There we go. If the performance starts chugging, I can always put it down a little, but I think that's much better. Black Shulk Corner Club. Okay. Good day, I'm Rariel Girel, publican of the Black Shop Corner Club. We rent beds and I have a limited selection of goods available for barter. And I don't get what they're going on about. I have that fat loot in my inventory. Does that not count? Anyways, get me a bed. And speaking of loots, that's also the one other reason I wanted to come here. And that we have that guy, what's his name? The bard who apparently moved to Vivec. Aldrich, that's the one. St. Dylan Canton. St. Dylan's Canton. We'll want to go to speak to Aldrich. And, oh, nice and luxurious room we've got here. And a locked chest. How cute. You think a locked chest could keep me out? That's adorable. Well, there goes that lockpick. It was getting on a bit, I suppose, so it's not totally surprising. Too complex. And this journeyman pick is on its way out too, so. I'm going to need to restock on lockpicks. I'm running low on them. There we go. All of that trouble for 84 gold. Really. Morrowind and what these people lock up just does not make any sense to me. It really does not. We'll get a good 9 hours sleep tonight. I can afford a bit of a lie-in. Caius never said there was any sort of urgency to my mission, so I can take my time. Let's just check on this. I am halfway to another level up. It's kind of nice. And I did not notice this, but this is the first time I've ever made note of this, but apparently even the blades have required skills and attributes for leveling up. That's kind of amusing, quite frankly, given that they're a faction you're literally required to be a part of in order to advance the plot, and yet they have requirements to advance you in rank. That amuses me, and I'm not sure why. Let me see. Our security will probably be our next level up. And yes, as I was just glancing over here, we're a shoo-in for leveling up again to the next rank in the Thieves Guild as soon as I do enough jobs for them. Fighters Guild. Guild, I don't really give a crap about. They're my cover. Same for the Mages Guild. Fighters Guild and Mages Guild are my cover, so I don't need to worry there. And it's interesting in a good way that I can't actually check the requirements for guilds I am not currently a part of. That is rather nice, actually, for the immersion and the like. So, we're in the big city now, so I'm not going to be outside much, and therefore we don't have to worry about the rain. I'm going to throw on the nice robe, actually, I think. And take my pauldrons off. I'll throw the nice robe on, and we can make a good impression on people going forward, I think. But I will, at the same time, get out my first barrier ring, just in case I need to throw up a shield, in case of a sudden battle. Make sure to shut the door behind me. And we did see an Argonian up here last night.
You talk too much, Outlander.
We're told our Morrigan contact was an Argonian. That may be him, but before I move forward with that, I'm actually going to read the orders that Caius gave me, since I didn't actually do that before. Following are notes prepared by Caius Casades to summarize your mission to Vivec City. In Vivec, look for these 3 persons and get them to tell you what they know about the Nerevaring cult and the Sixth House cult. Each owes me a favor, and each should be willing to cooperate. A Darinair is a Khajiitan Thieves Guild operative. She won't be easy to find, but ask around St. Olm's Canton. Folks are easily offended in St. Olm's. Be careful what you say. A little courtesy, a little coin, a little favor in the right place will get you in touch with her. Julia is a Argonian and a Morag assassin. Look for him in the foreign quarter at the Black Shulk Corner Club. He's known around Vivec City as a lover of books and old things. Maramilo is a temple priestess who works in the libraries at the Hall of Wisdom and Justice. The Hall of Wisdom and Justice is open to the public. Just walk around until you find her. Do not ask anyone at the Hall of Wisdom of Justice about Maramilo. I don't want to draw attention to the fact that she is talking to an outlander. Maramilo is a particular friend, and I don't want to get her in trouble. When you've spoken with each of these persons and gotten what information they can give you, return and report to me. Okay then. And this is Julia, so we have found one of them without even trying. That's a good start. I welcome you as the friend of my friend, Mervis Cyrano, but I wish to go to my friend's bookstore, and these troublesome fools are in my way. I've tried to persuade them, but they hate my race, and I fear there will be violence. Ask if you speak with them, but be careful and be ready. My friend Jabashah the Khajiit has a bookstore, Jabashah's Rare Books. If you will agree to travel together with me, I will answer your questions, but before we go, I beg you to try to persuade these troublesome fools to leave us alone. Otherwise, I fear they will attack us the moment we go to leave. The sight of a free Argonian offends these racist thugs. It would tarnish my Morag honor to slay them. I don't want to trouble my friend Saralis Galmus by fighting in his club, but I must go to my friend's bookstore where we can talk in peace. If you have a way with words, perhaps you can talk to them. Or if you have a way with money, they might be bought. Otherwise, I fear there must be bloodshed. Alright then. We will speak to them and see if we can't get them to back the hell off.
Do you want something?
Shut up and butt out, Outlander. It's the filthy lizard we're talking to, not you. We'll try to persuade them, but Mervis already wants to kill these people. It's only our friend. It's only our Argonian friend there, telling us he doesn't want to fight in his friend's club that's staying our hand. It's an Argonian and I don't like it, but I can leave it alone. Okay, we managed to persuade them around. That wasn't too hard. We're ready to travel together to Jabashar's rare books. When we arrive at my friend's bookstore, I'll answer your questions there. Okay. Let's travel together. Will you travel together with me to Jabashar's rare books? We leave through the door to the foreign quarter wasteworks, turn right, west, continue down the hall, and across the atrium on the same level, then follow the opposite corridor, west on the other side of the atrium all the way to Jabashar's door. Must warn you, unless these troublesome fools are persuaded to behave like civilized beings, there may be fighting and killing if we try to travel together. Yes, follow me, I've taken care of them. Thank you, Mervis Thyrano. I will follow you to Jabashar's rare books, and we will speak further there. Alrighty then.
3 blessings. Speak, traveler.
And they weren't talking out of their asses. They did leave him alone. Good. The first time they did that, I was fairly convinced they were just talking out their asses when they said they'd leave him alone and would just attack the moment I tried to cross out of the building anyways, despite what they had actually said. And yes, Morrowind directions from our good friend Julia here for the win. That's why I prefer to not bother trying to get directions when it comes to navigating buildings and interiors and stuff. Navigating buildings and cities through directions are the one time that Morrowind directions actually confuse the crap out of me. It really is. Navigating the wilderness and getting to another city and stuff, I can do just fine on their directions. But other than that, well, no. Come on, Julia. We're here. That's the apothecary, alchemist, and Jabashar's rare books. Yes, thank you very much. We should be free from distractions here. Now, I said I'd tell you about the Nerevarine cult so you can report back to Caius. And I don't know of any Sixth House cult, but I can tell you what I do know. I'll close that for a second because I'd like him to actually be looking at me. I'm invisible because of the way he spawned into the room or any such. Please stop moving around like that. There. And you said you don't know of any Sixth House cult. I've never heard of such a thing. House Dagoth was the Sixth House, but in the War of the First Council, they betrayed the other great houses and were destroyed for their treason. I've never heard of anyone worshipping them. Dagoth, the ancient head of House Dagoth, is the devil of the tribunal faith. I've never heard of anyone worshipping him either. Okay then. That wasn't much help, but you said you knew a bit more about the Nerevarine cult, so why don't you tell me about that? To understand the Nerevarine cult, you must understand the history of the Ashlanders. Nerevar means something very different to the Ashlanders from what he means to the Dunmer of the Great Houses. You should also know about the persecution of the Nerevarine and the legacy of the False Incarnate, or the Nerevarine cult is at the heart of the ancient conflict between the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Great House Dunmer. Here's a summary for Caius, but ask your questions and I'll answer in detail. What did you mean when you mentioned the persecution of the Nerevarine? The temple treats the Nerevarine prophecies as heresy, and the temple imprisons and executes heretics unless prevented by imperial law. But since the Nerevarine cult is hostile to the Empire does not interfere when the temple persecutes the cult. Ashlanders hate the temple, and particularly the Ordinators for their ruthless treatment of Nerevarine cultists. False Incarnate. What's that you're talking about there? In the past, some have claimed to be the reincarnated Nerevarine. The most recent is known as Peakstar, a figure of legend among the Waste tribes for the last 30 years. The temple says these false incarnates disprove the prophecies, since the false incarnates fail and come to nothing. But the mystical Nerevarine cult glorifies rather than shrinks from contradictions, citing the appearance of failed incarnates as certain proof of Nerevar's coming rebirth. Okay. Gotta be honest, this cult strikes me as being a bit bonkers, but what can you do, I guess? Now, last thing. You said I need to understand the history of the Ashlanders, so why don't you go ahead and tell me about it? In the First Era, the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Dunmer clans were much alike, but after the First Council and the formation of the Great Houses, Ashlanders have been steadily forced into the poorest and most hostile lands. Other nomadic tribes look to the prophesized return of Nerevar for a restoration of their ancient rites and religious traditions. Okay, it's very interesting. And would Mervis ask this guy about his dream? Would Mervis ask this guy about his dreams, though? That's the thing I'm trying to figure out, because it could definitely do with another perspective other than Caius's don't tell anyone and it'll be fine, but we just met. I don't think that kind of trust is available. He is willing to train us in sneak, though. I could always get a few points of that now. Maybe later. I don't suppose you'd care to tell me a little more about the Morag Tong while we're here? Nothing I don't already know? What about me joining up? Perhaps, but I do not believe you are ready. Well, that's not very nice. But we are here at the moment, so you know. I think I'm going to pay a visit to Jabashah here.
No, I don't think so.
And see
I could kill that Gwar.
what he has to say to us. And apparently he has an ordinator overseeing everything.
No time for you.
Welcome to Jabashah's bookstore. Is there title that Dark Elf desires in particular, or does he just look? Jabashah has great variety. Is certain that he has a book that bards should want very much. I like this guy. I like him a lot. And I can tell you this. Once we finally get ourselves our own home, or something to that effect, Jabashah is going to be a very good friend of ours, as we will be able to build up our own personal library here through the use of his bookstore, easily enough. And that is something that is a rather attractive prospect to Mervis. but I think we're done in the old bookstore for now. However, where was it? There was an enchanter around here somewhere, and I wanted to poke my head. It was in this direction, I believe. I wanted to poke my head into the enchanter's place and see if they sold certain magical items that I had some interest in.
What's this then?
Let's go and check them out. And this would be our enchanter. Hi there. Welcome, Dark Elf. It's good to see a customer in the store. That annoying fool outside chases them away. Annoying fool? What do you mean? Did you not see him as you entered? It is that Marcel Morard outside my shop. He stands all day selling ridiculous wares. Get rid of him. I would like to, but the law says he is within his rights. Perhaps you might find a way. Very well. I will try to make him leave. I don't promise I'll actually succeed. Think you can? I would like that. Make him go away and I'll have rewards for you. Rewards, eh? Now you're speaking my language. What do you sell, anyways? They have some specific items they're looking for, but who knows if this Argonian has them. Let's see. Detect key. Got to be honest, I don't give a damn. I already have a restore health ring, but it's not a very good one. Restore health 10 points on self for 9 gold. We have that ring from a while back. An engraved ring of healing of Fargoths. It's 1 to 5 points. Getting a ring that can heal us for more wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, honestly. Speaking of, let's just have a look at his various enchanted items. Do you have anything I want? No, none of your swords are of any interest to me. I don't want any of your scrolls. Not much I can say for sure. I wouldn't mind having a robe if it had a useful enchantment on it, but resist poison and resist shock I don't give a damn about. Not enough to replace my current fancy gear anyways. What I will do, however, is buy this life ring off of him. And since that life ring is just objectively better in every way to the engraved ring of healing, I'm going to sell it. And just get a tiny amount of money off of this. He does not want to negotiate at all, so we'll just take the 5 that he offered. Thank you, please come again. Okay.
Summoned by another. Questions again.
This life ring is definitely going to be a lot better. It has less charges, sure, but to be honest, just the fact that I can heal myself for 10 points per use rather than just 1 to 5 points. It's just so much better. And I really just think that would make for the best replacement.
What's this about?
Yes, sir.
Hey there, Mari. What's up? Hello, my friend. What a glorious time it is. If I can interest you in one of my fine wares. All magical, all for a low, low price. A man in my line of work must find a way to make a living. What line of work is that, perhaps? I'm an actor, or at least I hope to be. I am the poor player who struts and frets for a while on stage and then has lunch. I am full of sound and furiousness. Oh, if there were but a good theatre troupe in this town, I could give up selling these baubles. Oh, woe is me. You should leave this area. You're upsetting the storekeep in the enchanting shop. Leave here? I could not. It is the finest spot in Vivec from which to sell my wares. Otherwise, I'd have nothing which to support myself. Upon which to support myself. Dear friend, neither a borrower nor an honest tradesman be. That's what my father always told me. And apparently, despite the fact he's apparently selling stuff, he doesn't act as a merchant, so we can't buy anything from him. That's a bit odd and irritating.
Make it quick, Outlander.
In any case... let's head over into the upper wasteworks. Just check it out. See what there is around here. And continue in my effort to get the lay of the land, essentially. We're still just in the foreign quarters. We haven't gone around checking out the other big important areas or anything. We're just in what's essentially the arrival area where they keep foreigners. Oh, nothing too out there just yet in terms of the locale or anything. Or the people making up the area, for that matter. There are a couple of merchants around here. Oh, and they're undoubtedly selling some interesting stuff. Okay, that's this whole upper area mapped now. What do we have around with merchants? Well, we have a pompous, arrogant noble there. Or most likely pompous and arrogant because he is a noble. And a merchant. Do you sell? Weapons and armor which I have no desire to own.
There's someone watching me. I
Okay.
can tell.
What about you? Potion vendor. Okay then. Not right now,
I'm
I don't
waiting.
think. Another potion merchant, but one who also sells spells. Do you have anything I'm interested in? does not have anything that we are interested in purchasing. So this area was a waste of time. Let's just head around, do a bit more exploration, I think. We're back outside again. Get over to these. This is what I need to know. It shouldn't require levitation because this isn't the bloody Telvanni Towers after all. We'll head into the plaza now and have a little poke around. Huh, here's the Fighters Guild. And a smith. Well, if I need some extra jobs and the like, then that Fighters Guild is certainly a good place to go.
So make it.
But, Smith, how much gold do you have? That's what I want to know.
Why do you disturb me?
Only 400. Yeah. You're not getting my ebony helm. No way. And just at a glance, you don't have anything I give a crap about. Here is the Mage's Guild. Elderroom Mage's Guild might be worth paying a visit to, actually, because it's quite likely they'll have some new spells I have not run across yet. So, it's worth a visit, if nothing else. It is worth a visit, I think. Also, and I forgot to mention this earlier when I was talking about the Ordinators in brief, you don't want to be caught wearing their armor, because wearing Ordinator armor when you're not yourself an Ordinator, it's a crime. And it's not just a crime. They will skip straight past the arresting phase if they catch you doing that and sentence you to death. I've never had that happen to me, fortunately, because I never managed to get my hands on any Ordinator armor. But even so, I have heard about this. And it is rather interesting. 2,500 gold this seller has. This helmet is worth 15,000. Honestly, 2,500 is probably the best deal I'm going to get, so I think I'm going to sell him the Serrano Ebony Helm. What have you got? Lots of fire arrows, bone mold arrows, spark arrows. Can't afford the transaction. There you go. That was far below what that item was actually worth. But considering I probably wouldn't have found anyone with anywhere near that amount of gold, I'd say it was worth it. And we're up
So
to
what do you
nearly
want?
5 grand now. So, now that we've taken care of that, I'm gonna pop into the Mages Guild. And just see about buying some spells.
Welcome, friend.
I've heard a lot about you, Outlander. Go ahead.
Refusing me because of my rank. You are terrible. You really are.
Speak freely, friend.
And this is the Archmage. That's nice. I'm looking for someone who will sell me spells.
Go ahead.
Any time now.
Apparently the only person who sells spells around these parts will not sell them to me because of my rank. Or I've just not found the other people who sell spells. That's more likely, honestly.
Watch your step.
What about you? You don't sell spells. Okay.
What
Yes,
do you
Dunmer?
want?
What do you want?
You want something, friend?
I've heard a lot about you, Outlander. Go ahead.
Not selling me spells because of my rank. That is just rude. Honestly. People are terrible.
Yes, Dunmer?
Speak, traveler.
Okay. Next order of business, I need someone who does spell crafting.
Yes, Dunmer?
Can't speak to him. It's just a generic magey mage. And how did I miss this door?
You have my attention.
And you do sell spells. Thank you. Invisibility for 30 seconds on stealth for 30 points of invisibility. 300 gold. The worst in the world. Let's see. Slow fall. I have an amulet of slow fall, but having it in spell form would be quite nice, just to eventually be able to make use of this in spell form rather than having to rely on an amulet with limited charges. Jump. That's basically like that Scroll of Icarian Flight, just less extreme, isn't it? That's what it seems to be. Jump 20 points. I'll take that. I'll also take this hide spell. Just because I can. Unfortunately. There are only 2 people in the Vivec Mages Guild who sell spells, apparently, and one of them does not want to sell to me because my rank is too low.
Speak freely, friend.
But anyways, I think we're done in here. Let's get
Outlander.
out. course, now I need to find a way to get over to one of the other cantons. Of course, there's always slow fall. I could jump and then cast my amulet's effect once I was far enough down, but that would strike me as a bit on the dangerous side. In any case, I'm not sure how I'd get back up again then, because my levitate spell, well, is not particularly good, which is the reason why I want to get my hands on a levitation amulet. Drellin Nimathan is apparently going around telling some story about finding a Dremora at the top of a tower on Balfell, which has updated my journal. Interesting. When we're not a complete and utter wuss, that'd be something to go and look into. But currently we are a complete and utter wuss, so I don't think I will. If I'm reading the map correctly, there should be a bridge. That's on this general direction. Though that might be showing off one that's below me. Yep, it's a bridge below. That's very annoying. It would appear that I just got everything wrong. So I missed those. Traveled down like blah 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 to navigate things. Let's see. Water Lower Wasteworks. I have already been through here. Let's head down one more. See if I can't reach that bridge and cross over to another sector of Vivec. I did warn you that we were going to be in Vivec for a while. Don't blame me if you didn't take my word for it. We are going to be here for a while. Right around Canton? Well, as far as cities go, I have to say, Vivec is the most impressive one I have been in my entire life. But really, would it have killed them to put up a few more signs? Because navigating this place is going to be an utter nightmare. It really is.